Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. After losing his wife in a tragic accident, our next guest turned his sadness into healing by choosing to visit every single country on the globe. Here to share his incredible story, we welcome the author of Belonging to the World, A Journey from Grief to Connection in Every Country on Earth, Barry Hoffner. Thank you so much for joining us today, Barry.
Thank you, Hannah. I'm glad to be with you.
Would you tell me a bit about your wife, Jackie? You guys had amazing adventures together. She was your #1 travel companion.
She sure was. Well, we met in college. That was back in the early 80s. I kind of had a crush on her, but we were just friends. And about 15 years later, I was living in Singapore and she was passing through. We had stayed in contact and I was taking a mid-career sabbatical. And we started traveling together and we fell in love at the Taj Mahal end of 1994. And we had a lot of crazy adventures together over the years, and including with our boys who are now 26 and 27.
It's a pretty amazing story right from the beginning, and you guys were really just preparing to enter life as empty nesters when this tragedy struck?
Yeah, well, my older son was in his first semester at university at Georgetown, and my younger son was on a gap year in Spain, and it was our first empty nesting trip together. She had gone ahead to Southern Africa, and I was flying later to meet her. I landed in Dubai, ready to fly the next day to Nairobi, Kenya, to meet her to go to an elephant rehabilitation center, and I received a shattering phone call that changed my life.
It seems like a quite uncommon accident, what happened to Jackie, is that right?
It is very uncommon. It's a very unfortunate incident, and it's uncommon for tourists generally. It does happen to locals if they encroach on the area of elephants. But yeah, it's very uncommon for a tourist to get killed by an elephant.
So how did you decide in the midst of all this grief and trying to pick up your boys and meet them where they were, how did you decide to take on this travel project eventually?
Yeah, well, I moved away from Northern California for a while. I really needed to step out of my life to make sense of such a traumatic shock. And after a period of what I'd call like contemplative reading, meditation, spiritual reading, I decided it was time to kind of re-enter life. That was about 6 months after she passed. And I took a trip. I ran a half marathon in Tajikistan, that's in Central Asia. And I came back from that trip really changed. Like I was uh, sort of grieving a little less and thinking more of the need to re-enter life. And so I was lucky enough to be able to do it through travel. And then after a period of travel, I met somebody who had been to every country in the world, and a light bulb went on in my head, and I said, that's what I got to do.
So through your travels, I mean, you're able to meet these people from all different walks of life, and you kind of are consistently surprised with some pretty extraordinary kindness that was shown to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was such an intentional period of travel, 3 years going to 70 new countries and about 100 countries in total. I'd already been to a number. I first started out really just traveling to sort of what people would consider exotic countries like Uganda, Rwanda, Saudi Arabia. But then I realized if I was going to travel to every country in the world, I had to go to places where the world warned me not to, like Afghanistan after the Taliban had taken over, in Iraq. And what I found was not just that I was like having a great adventure, but I found I was really connecting with people. And those connections were different, gave me different stories that I was collecting that were different from the headlines that you would generally read in the press about those countries. It was human interconnectedness, people to people.
How were you able to get into some of those difficult to reach places? Like, was North Korea the last one that you made it to?
Well, unfortunately, I was supposed to go to North Korea in 3 weeks, and they just announced they were having a half marathon that they do once a year. They just announced on a week ago that they were canceling that, or actually it was this Monday. So unfortunately, I still haven't visited North Korea yet. That will be my 193rd country.
Okay.
And when it reopens, I will go there.
You'll check the box as soon as it's possible. Tell me about the legacy of this book. The proceeds are going to be in Jackie's memory.
Yeah, well, I've been doing charitable work in West Africa for about 15 years, building schools and supporting them in Mali, West Africa. But after Jackie passed, we started a scholarship in her name called Bourse Jackie, the Jackie Scholarship. And we have programs for university scholarships, English language scholarships, all across West Africa. We've scholarshiped 50 women so far, and all the proceeds from the sale of this book will go to additional scholarships for women in West Africa under Jackie's name, Bourse Jackie, the Jackie Scholarship.
Such a beautiful way to honor her memory. What would you say to somebody today who maybe hasn't traveled much and is a little bit nervous about taking on a big adventure like yours?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the good things happen, I think, when we go beyond our comfort zone. At least that happened for me, just pushing it a little bit. And everybody has their own limits. I understand that. But for me, it just opened up a whole world of expansiveness and feeling like when I look at a map today, I don't see lines, but I feel impressions of people that I met. And I just feel more connected. The world becomes smaller to me in a period of divisiveness that we're currently facing, not just in our country, but across the world, is sort of a different lens to view people to people connections. It makes you feel more grounded in humanity, I would say.
Yeah, that's so impactful. Barry, thank you so much for sharing some time with us today. It was great chatting with you.
Thank you very much. And I hope people will consider buying my book.
Absolutely. Okay, here is the book again. It's called Belonging to the World. We will have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.